I'm going to talk about jobs I've had over the years, a variety of jobs. Talked to an old guy one time, and he was buying and selling azaleas, and I was hauling some azaleas while I'm driving a truck. And I asked him, I said, well, what have you always done for a living? You done this for a living? He said, son, I've been an industrial prostitute. I would do anything to make a dollar. And my work career might be somewhat summed up like that. I've done anything to make a dollar. Well, it started out when I first started to work. Daddy give us $1 a week to clean the church. So we swept, mopped the floor, and cleaned the bathrooms and raked the yards. And then we moved into town, and we didn't have a lawnmower, but we had a rake, and I have raked pine. I raked a minion bale of pine straw. They didn't bale it back then, but I raked it and hauled it off and piled it where it could get hauled off in yards for 50 cents, $1, $2 a yard in the afternoons after school. So I cleaned the church. I raked yards. I pitched watermelons when I got old enough, 15, 16, 17, 18, in the summertime. That's one of the worst jobs that you've ever had. I bucked hay before. Loaded hay out of the field, put it up in barns for people and stuff. I've done a little bit of anything that you can imagine to make a dollar. I worked for Winn-Dixie as a bag boy, mopped and floored and cleaned bathrooms, and then I went in the Navy, and I mopped floors and cleaned the bathrooms in the Navy. But before I went in the Navy, I worked some as a plumber's helper with Parker Mechanical here in our town. But I had worked with Daddy all my life. Daddy was a house builder, flunky, carpenter, did a little bit of anything, welder. And I'd always helped him. So I was exposed to a variety of things, so I could do a little bit of anything. But I've been a carpenter. I've been a glazer. I've been a plumber, a pipe fitter. I've been an air-conditioned duct man. I worked with Floor Daniels, building duct in some large plants. I've done a little bit of everything. I've been a carpenter. I've been a form carpenter. I've been a finished carpenter. I carried the mail. I drove a truck. I farmed. I've done a little bit of anything to make a dollar. I've built houses, and whatever needed to be done, I've done it. But I always had a job. Always had a job. Never been fired or let go of but one job. And I knew when I walked in the man's office that I didn't have a job. I had drug up before I opened my mouth because I knew I didn't have a job when I got